Hello, everyone. This is Zelda with Seeing Crime, and episode 41 brings us to Paul O'Keefe. And in my opinion, this frivolous little lawsuit. Now, most of you, these things are like, oh my gosh. No, my dear. That's why we're here. But first of all, a couple of things. Today is the 27th of August, and I wanted to read this because we are close to the end of Mercury retrograde. Now, I'm going to tell you what. This lawsuit was filed during a Mercury retrograde. Not only was it filed during a Mercury retrograde, it was filed on the 26th. And when you do something right at the end of Mercury retrograde like this is how I can explain Mercury. It's kind of like, in the old Westerns, you get the cowboy down and you think he's passed out, and you get over close to him and you reach down to get it, and he surprises you and jumps up and gives you the lefty in the jaw. Well, that's what Mercury does right at the end. This will not turn out very well for them, but we're going to see. No judgment. We're going to discern. The other thing I want to tell you is how much I appreciate all of you, because I'm going to say this. My darlings, the last reading that we had, this card came up, the Hanged Man. It was in the video, They Have What? And I will link it up here so you can go back and see it if you haven't seen it before. This card came out, and this particular card talks about looking at things through a different perspective. How we should do that whenever we are in a quandary. Think of things from a different value or a different area. Even if you're in one part of your house, go into another part of your house and try to work some things out. Because this is what happens. And I turned this around like this and I said, look, this looks like a 4, but it's an inverted 4. Now, many of you commented about a particular comment from a viewer that said the Sallyport number 4, the video was inverted. That gave me chills, and thank you, because that's why you're all here. Because we like to delve deep and we like to talk about this, right? So that brings me to the disclaimer, because I'm going to be talking about a lot of legal stuff today, and it's going from me going over this filing and listening to some other people just to make sure that I'm in the know. So I'm not a lawyer. I'm not with law enforcement. I'm not medical. I'm not an expert. The only thing that I'm an expert in is card reading, and that's why we're here. So this is for entertainment purposes only, for me to vent my opinion and for you to vent yours. However, we do come up with some very good things here. So if you're new here, please welcome. We love to have you. We are a community where we get along. No roughness in the chats, no roughness in the comments. And we're just here to live and to discuss. And that's what we do. I have a new deck of cards out here for you today. So welcome. Please do me a favor before I introduce the cards and subscribe and like. It doesn't cost anything. Please like. And it helps me. And I'm going to just continue to bring you more. Okay? So now let's introduce the cards. We have the Kipper, our friend, laying the foundation. We have the mini tarot to give us confirmation. But now I have a brand new deck. Well, new to you. I've used it seldom, maybe in a couple of personal readings. And it is a beautiful tarot deck. It's the Mythic Tarot, and wait till you see it. Then in the Hand of Fate, we have the Hidden deck, which is cartomancy. I have several other decks right here beside me if we feel the need to get into it and really go deeper, or if there's a question given us, or if something comes out that we need to discuss a little further, we're going to do that as well. So thank you all for being here, and let's get started. Let's not waste any more time. let's get started with this because, I mean, after all, right? After all. Boy, there are some things going on with this lawsuit, isn't there? There are some things. Sorry, there was a little piece of fuzz there. All right, here we are with the Kipper. We're laying the foundation. Spirits, guides, angels. We want to know information regarding this lawsuit from Paul and his family, Paul O'Keefe. And it is about Karen Reed, the main male. Female. Hello. Main female. Sorry, Karen. Main female. Here we are. All right. And how Paul is thinking about this main female. He should be. He should be. The community. Absolutely, this affects the community, who I know from talking to some, not many, but to some, basically said that this has divided the community. It is an outrage for the whole place, and this is Paul. He wants to think that he's a wealthy man. We're going to let him think that. Well, he is after he got the money for John, and there we are. Blessed John. It is about this right here. It is about John's death. Childlike, he wants a new beginning, but I'm also going to say that that is probably John's niece. John's nephew was not mentioned in the lawsuit. I don't know what the Massachusetts law is. Oh yeah, he's expecting. He's expecting something to happen. I'm going to tell you what is going to happen here pretty soon. But I don't know why the nephew was not listed. If he's too young or if he didn't agree. Yeah, that is Karen and John. And yes, there is a concern about this whole thing. So let's dive into it. I think by now I really have introduced these cards as I laid them out. And I think right now we're just going to get started with this tarot, and we'll come back because you know I'm going to mess up the board. You know it? You know it. So here comes this beautiful mythic tarot deck. And you're going to see how beautiful this is. We're being guided now for this reading, and I hit the camera, so sorry, and here we are. The Eight of Pentacles. Look at this. Aren't they pretty? The Eight of Pentacles. The Four of Swords. Four of Cups. This is getting interesting. The King of Swords. Wow. All of these swords. And the Eight of Swords. Look at this card. Look at those guys. I think I dated this one once. Okay, so anyway, my darlings, here we are. We've got all of these cards, a lot of swords, a lot of cups, and I think we're going to put these to the side, but let's get into this, and let me find my pointer. Let me find. I should have had this. So sorry. Here we are. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, this Eight of Pentacles. This Eight of Pentacles tells us, look, this guy is busy, hard at work on his money. The Pentacles. He's making sure that each one looks the same as the other. What is that called? That is consistency. Now, some people say, this looks like a fish up here. It's not really. It's, I think, just really how this graphic turns out. But this is a lush area around him. And bottom line is that he's trying to make sure that he continues the flow of money. Do you see where this is going? The Four of Swords. This card I feel is very interesting, because this Four of Swords is that you would think that they would want peace for John, peace for Karen. That's what this Four of Swords, in the traditional tarot, and we may see it, there is the word PAX in a mosaic in the corner, and that is the Latin for peace. But here we sit, the Four of Swords, and this person is meditating in front of it. It's basically means that through peace is strength. Through the meditation, you decide and you figure out what pathway you're going to take to the future. Four of Cups. Many decisions that need to be made. And some facts. And look, I like this because you see these ladies sitting here, it almost like it, having a discussion. What do we do next? This, I believe, resonates to the family. They got together, they resonate, they talk about what it is that they want to do, they talk about things that are going to happen, and they came to the conclusion where they're going to file a lawsuit. This King of Swords tells them that, yeah, anybody can file a lawsuit. First of all, I just want you to know this. Anyone on earth can file a lawsuit. But you better make sure that you have the chutzpah behind you. And you better make sure that you are balanced. You better make sure that you have all the facts. You better make sure that what you say you can prove without a shadow of a doubt. And they have asked for a jury trial on this. Yeah, let's let that sink in. Accusations of all these things that is very, very hard to prove. The Eight of Swords. Basically, this character here has walled themselves in. This is Paul. Through the rhetoric of other people, look at this. Wagging tongues. You see how that works? Through the wagging tongues, I like this card. Because you see, this angel is standing there going, hello, wait a minute now. Wait, what's going on? I'm standing behind you. You've got some divine intervention here, but you're paying attention to the wagging tongues, but you don't realize that you could just walk right through these. They're not holding you back. You're the only one holding yourself back, and that is Paul. He is his worst enemy, and that's what this card means. Isn't that appropriate? And funny enough, it comes out with this particular card as well. Now we're going to lay out the mini. We're going to lay out the mini, my darlings. Here we go with the mini. This one may be a long one too, so get your drinks, get your snacks. Did you have something to eat today? And look at this, the Five of Cups. That also does not surprise me. And you know what? My light just moved as I turned over this Four of Cups on top of the Four of Cups. So are we having a divine intervention here? I do believe that, and I think that this is something that we really need to pay attention to in a minute. Let's lay out the rest of them so we know where we're going. Justice will be served. And that doesn't mean, and okay, I'm going to point that out in a minute. I know y'all are seeing it. This doesn't mean that Paul's going to win. It means justice will be served. And then there is a Three of Cups, a celebration. On top of this Eight of Swords. Let's lay out two more. I want to see where this is going. The Hermit card there is our buddy B.A. And the Page of Wands. We're going to lay that over here. I'm not going to fix the light because it was supposed to be that way. So if it's too harsh, my apologies. I'll see it during editing though. Maybe I can fix it if it's too much. Here's the Five of Cups, and you see in front of this person there is a lot of regret coming. This road that he is on, and I'm going to say this is Paul, this road that Paul is on is a Paul of maybe, I think he is on a road of self-destruction. That's my opinion. Is he bothered by this? Of course he would. Of course he is. Did it make him say something crazy or do something crazy? Probably. But you see what he's counting on? Instead of focusing on what he has, instead of focusing on these two cups, he's focusing on what he doesn't have instead of what he does. No amount of money will bring John back. No amount of blaming Karen Reed for what it is that she did or did not do will bring John back. Let's talk about the Four of Cups. I think this is really important. On this Four of Cups, you see that there is a benevolent hand coming out, and this person looks a little on the stubborn side, which I also feel is Paul, because I think that he got some advice. And I'm going to say any lawyer worth their salt is going to say this is something that you shouldn't do. However, if you're going to do it, we have to do it against all this and this and this. So we've got the waterfall, CFs, and Karen. So right here are the Four Cups. Waterfall, CFs, and Karen. Not only that, I think that they had a family meeting, and I think that was extremely important. But there are some things that they're not thinking about, and that is all of this evidence, all of these accusations are just that, accusations. Do you see the sword in the upright position for both of these? This, and my darlings, take a look at this. I hope you can see that. We've got the scales of justice here, and we have the scales of justice here. Both the King of Swords and both this Justice card are saying, look, we have to have balance in the journey. You better make sure that you're standing on the right side, and or else. Is this a money grab? I believe so, in my opinion. This Justice, Lady Justice, has this red robe and this red curtain behind her, which is not only power, but passion. And the one thing that we see that Paul is very passionate about is that he likes to attack Turtle Boy and he likes to attack Karen. Let me come back to this. There's going to be a time, this Page of Wands tells that there's an announcement. There's an announcement coming. This is a fire element. There are doors opening, and I believe that he is opening some doors that he is not going to like. I'm just not so sure that he has been advised, maybe he has, that this lawsuit opens a door more for Karen than it does for him. And this will be Karen's celebration. I do not personally feel, now this card is also a Libra, so we're going to be into the time of Libra, the end of September and into October. This Virgo, we're almost in the sign of Virgo right now. Let's forget about Brian Albert for a minute and let's talk about this card. This card, as you see with this six-pointed Star of Solomon, there needs to be a lot of wisdom and understanding. And you need to be on top of things. You need to make sure that you've thought things through, that you've prayed about it, meditated any time that before a lawsuit has been filed. And Now, of course, they're not going to think about this, but they're filed during this Mercury retrograde, which should tell all of you, hello, it's inevitable. What did they do? I believe that they did a lot more for Karen than they did for themselves. We're going to get into that. I like how we're getting confirmations here. We're going to just keep pulling, my darlings. We're just going to keep doing it, and look at this. Oh, that is a good card. Not a good card, but it is a good card. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. And then we're just going to keep going round and round. This Nine of Spades, this is the card that basically says, you better be careful because your imagination is going wild. Is Paul's imagination going wild? In my opinion, yes. I think I'm going to start calling Paul Pot Paul or Potter Paul. The reason being is because Paul is the pot calling the kettle or Karen black, meaning he is pointing the finger at someone that he has done himself, if not worse. He himself has a previous lawsuit in which he was found guilty when he was drunk driving and hit someone, and who was it that came to his rescue? Karen bailed him out. There's no loyalty there. There's no camaraderie there. There was no judgment. Karen didn't ask. Karen didn't say, well, Potter Paul, did you really do this? No, she didn't question at all. She ran to his rescue. Why? Because she loved John. And when you love someone, that's what you do if somebody is in need and you need that. She ran to him and she took care of that. And they resented her for it. Six of Hearts and Three of Diamonds. As I always say, treating this as though it is a business transaction. Taking a matter of the heart, but making it more business and less personal is what this means. Now, this card for him, Joker, doesn't surprise me. This Joker, now, you've seen the other Joker. The other Joker is the one with the skull in it. This is the other side, the flip coin of this, the flip side. Hello, if I can say that. This Joker means that there is a lot of secrets that are about to come out. How do we know that? Well, when Karen can depose these, I'm sure she's going to call in the McAlbert family for depositions. And of course, Higgy. My darlings, this is a time of discovery, and during this time of discovery, they can ask everything and anything to come out. They're not limited by what Auntie Bev has told them they can't ask or they can't talk about. This is a civil suit. The other is criminal. There are different rules. So Karen can actually ask, in my opinion, from what I understand, I'm not a lawyer, but she can ask for a lot more. And the first question that I would ask is, that's not an excuse, but they were all flipping drinking. I don't know about you, but I did not see Karen slamming down these drinks on those videos. Tell me if I've missed something, please, because I've looked. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong video, and I'll admit it if I'm wrong, but was she slamming down the drinks? Now, there is another question, and I'm just going to put it out there to the cosmic unknown and to my friends who are watching this, and that is this. Do you think that there's a possibility that they could have slipped something in her drink at the waterfall or at CF? Maybe? Do you think? And look at, I want you to look at the bottom of this card. This is the Nine of Swords. Look, wagging tongues. Look, making you feel bad, the opinions of others coming at you to where you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't function, you can't work. All because of these little waggers up there that doesn't know their hind ends from a hole in the ground. They think they're going to get to Karen. Karen is smiling. Karen's, I'm sure, lawyers, law defense, are probably giggling. And by the way, Trooper Proctor, I'm going to lay this card out here because I love this. By the way, Trooper Proctor, the CW says they are no longer going to call him as a witness. Will you think? Gee whiz, after all this time, do you think that there may be some type of, I don't know, common sense? But that doesn't mean the defense can't. And you can bet your bottom dollar that AJ and Yannetti will be calling if there is, in fact, another trial January 27th. In fact, I'm not so sure there will be because this appeal could take a little longer than what they think. And they may have to postpone. I don't know. We'll see when we get closer to that time. Now, will this civil suit settle? Or will it go away, or will it come to fruition? Will it go to trial before the second trial? I don't think so. These things can take a while. Depositions, deposing all these people. And I'm going to tell you what, Karen can, I'm going to tell you something. Here we go. Are you ready? I believe it's I know it's in the Psalms. It might be Psalm 91. I'm not sure. But and I'm going to paraphrase. It's when we pray, the tide of the battle turns. And Karen and all these people have been praying, and the tide of this battle is turning. Because what's going to happen? When she calls in all these people for depositions, it doesn't mean they can come in just one time. It can mean that they can come in multiple times. And this is an opportunity to cost them money. And, yeah. And a deposition. You still can't lie in a deposition. You're not in a court of law, but you can't lie. You can say, I don't know, but you can't lie. You can't really even object. Sometimes you can if it gets too hairy. That's my opinion. And my experience with a lot of other lawyers and here we go, some cards. Lawyers and, oh my gosh, look at what we have here. The Hanged Man. See, you know what we're talking about? We're talking about another perspective for Karen, that she can turn this battle, that she can start costing the McAlberts money now, because they're going to need, this will cost them because they're going to need their lawyers to come in. And I mean, we're talking Higgy, we're talking the McAlberts, we're talking all of them, Colin Albert, all of them. She's going to do it with all of them. Julie Nagel, all of them. It's discovery. But look at this card when we turn it around. Yeah, he looks like he's bound up a little bit there, but it's completely different. A completely different perspective. That's amazing, isn't it? Shh. Sorry, camera. All right, this is amazing. So what's going to happen? That's what we want to know. We're getting foundations. We're seeing that Paul is not in a good position. Karen is in a better position. This is the Four of Wands. You know what this card means? One thing I like about these cards, my friend, and if you want to know again, this is the Mythic Tarot. These cards, the wands, are fire element. And look at what they did to the fire elements. They put fire, the wands on the... I just love that. We've got a king here who's holding a pouch. We've got everybody. This guy's ship has come in. That's why he's standing there with his little hands on his hip. Everybody's standing around. They're saying, yeah, we'll give you money. Here we go. Here we go. This is for Karen. Her ship has come in. This is a way for her to combat what is going on. Now, can they use that testimony from the depositions in the criminal matter? I don't know. Be lovely if they could, but I don't know. But you see, in my opinion, they keep making these harrowing mistakes. Do I feel that this civil suit is a mistake? Yes. Yes, I do. Can they prove all of these things? In my opinion, the answer is no. This is caused by imagination. And why did they do this? Oh, I'm sorry. I've turned my deck upside down and all that. The Queen of Swords. We have another queen here. And she's at the ready with her sword up. She's taking all of those emotions. She's telling, you know what? You can't be emotional. You can't base a lawsuit on emotional, moral principles. The law has no room for morals, even though it should. It's fact-based. Their facts are going down the drain because it's all emotional. Now, let's see what's going to happen. The Ten of Wands. Well, we ask what's going to happen, and that's Paul. And the Ten of Wands basically says he's going to learn his lesson. This is going to tie him up worse than what he ever thought. This isn't going to turn out well for him. The Seven of Pentacles. You see this woman standing here helping this man with money? That is exactly what Paul thinks, is that Karen is just going to say, oh, here you go, here, let's just settle this. Now, she could. Will this be an opportunity for her? Oh, absolutely. She could settle it. In fact, her insurance company could settle it. Her homeowner's insurance, they could step in and settle it. Do I think they will? No. Do I think Fall will? No. Do I think that CF or CF will? No. They're going to fight this because their liquor licenses, and if they settle, could there be an implied guilt if they settle? Not sure. I'm not a lawyer, but these are questions that should be answered. The Star card. Guess who that is? That's Jennifer. That's the Aquarian Star card. However, let's look at this because we're asking about Karen, talking about her. This is an opportunity for her. And she's looking at it as perhaps an opportunity. So, my dear, you know what Paul needs? Paul needs to get a reading with me. And I'm going to tell you something. If you haven't had a video reading with me, well, I think you'd be very happy if you did. I want you to follow the link in the description, and you'll see where you can order a video reading where I go through the cards, you ask questions, and many of you have had these readings, and if you have, some of you have just left me the most beautiful reviews, and I appreciate that so, so much. I want to thank you for that. Follow the link, my darlings. This is another card. Now, I want you to see something here. You see there's a pattern. Here we are. We're messing up our little board. We're getting there. Look at this. Balance, balance, and balance. Do I feel that this suit will be settled out of court? The answer is no. Do I feel that it will be settled anytime Soon? I don't believe so. CF and the waterfall could also, they could settle, I think, without Karen. I do not believe that they will. I think that they're looking at it like, this is ridiculous. You were all drunk that night. You were all drinking that night. This is going to be a hard nut to crack for Paul. His imagination and his emotions have torn this man and his family. You see what happens? The emotions are just poured out, going nowhere. You can't live in your emotions. Let's ask for. Let's get out the House of Zelda. That's what we're missing here. Last couple of cards, my darlings, and I hope this has helped you, because I think this gives us clarity. Love is behind this. Yes. I believe that it's a jealousy of Karen and John, and he's talking about them arguing and everything else the night before. Hello, we have all argued with partners and friends and family. If I could take everybody to court, or all my exes to court in which I had an argument with, oh my Lord. Oh, pardon me. See, that was confirmation of the universe. I better not talk about that. Missing information, and that this is the key to unlock this information. How do we know that is a confirmation, my darlings? Well, right here. The secrets will be coming out. There's going to be a lot that comes out. Paul, the Potter Paul, needs to be careful, because this is serious for him. And I'm going to tell you what, you wait. You're going to see that they just unlocked the door for Karen to come after the McAlberts. Yes. Now that's my opinion. So I hope this has helped you, my darlings. I think this is very good. We're going to continue to talk about this. This is the topic of conversation for a while, and I know that you're here for it. So we're going to continue on. I love this. Thank you so much. Free Karen Reed, and if you're watching this, oh man, I would be honored, and I am so grateful. But they're not going to win. That's my opinion. But you'll be winning if you can subscribe, and I'm going to announce the live. I'm only 1,000 people away from coming live, and we're going to have our giveaways. And the giveaways are the 2 Kipper decks, and I'm going to give away a free reading. And watch for the video, because I'm going to post the official rules, what you need to do. It doesn't cost a thing. YouTube is not sponsoring all of this. The Kipper decks, my video readings, they're mine to share, and that's for you. So thank you so much. Please subscribe. And, YouTube has got a great video they want you to see, because they think that you should, and so do I. And I will see you again very soon. And much love to all of you. Take care. Bye for now.